Senator Cornyn, there are a lot of Americans who feel that the Iraqis are playing the U.S. for suckers.
Well, I think, we fought long enough to get to this position where now there is a hope that Iraq can govern and defend itself, Wolf. If we had simply quit, as Harry Reid, Nancy Pelosi, and Senator Obama wanted us to do early on, we wouldn't even be having this discussion. There wouldn't even be the hope of a self-governing democracy in the Arab world in the Middle East. This ought to be a subject of negotiations between two sovereign powers. I agree with Senator Levin that Iraqis need to bear more financial responsibility. That's why I hope that we do get that provision passed in early September.
Well, and Senator Levin, go ahead and respond to the charge that if you and others, like Senator Obama, for example, would have had your way, this discussion right now about Iraqi oil surpluses and what to do with it wouldn't even be a subject for discussion.
Well, if we had had our way, we would have had a reasonable timetable for the redeployment of most of our troops, which would have put some pressure on the Iraqi government to do what they are not doing, which is essential to end the conflict in Iraq, and that is to work out a political settlement among themselves. They were supposed to have elections, which is a critical part of that settlement, on October 1st. And instead of doing that, they again are doing nothing to resolve these key political differences on Iraqi elections.
But Senator Levin, there has been a very dramatic drop in the number of U.S. troops killed and injured, and there has been progress on the military front.
There has been on the military side, but the purpose of the surge was to give the Iraqis the breathing room, that was the argument, so that they could work out their political settlements. They must take political responsibility, economic responsibility, and military responsibility for their own country. They are not doing that. So while the violence has been reduced, thank God, it's not going to stay that way unless there is a political settlement. And instead of reaching agreements on how to divide their resources and on keeping their promise to have elections on October 1, which are so essential to a political settlement, they are now not doing what they promised us they would do. We got to keep the pressure on the Iraqis.